Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to my podcast. This is George Nathaniel for you. As I always do, today I've come back with a very simple topic. Well, the topic over the subject line for today is Nobody owns a loser, so get on the job. Well, all across life, nobody actually wants to own a loser or be a loser. So it's very important to be on the job, be on the track, be on the pathway, keep striving, and of course, ensure some results at the end of the efforts. Now, referring back to my topic for the day, no one owns a loser. Get on the job. What am I exactly trying to say or trying to relate to? Well, let us look at life in the most simple of aspects. There are tons and tons of alternatives. There are numerous ways to do the same process, complete the same process, to find accomplishments. There are multiple options available. There are millions of opportunities to drive through new pathways. So why do we get stuck on one? Or why do we want to own a loser's tag? So looking back to our subject and referring to the second part, get on the job. Get on the job is a very simple term that relates to the efforts that we put in, the progress that we make, or the betterment that we look forward to. Nothing just happens on an automated forum or platform. Everything takes some level of efforts, some level of strategic thinking, some level of realignment, and of course, some level of finding the right pathway to suit one's self over that particular moment. So, if we are able to find that corrective measures and get on the pathway, get on the job, then I'm sure nobody will ever own a loser's tag. Everybody would have achieved or excelled or would have accomplished something in their own form or process or ways towards their own betterment in life. So looking at things, folks, in a very simple manner, let us refer to the subject over our personal frontiers, professional frontiers, and keeping the overall goal of making our network better, making our environment better, and of course working towards well-being and having a happier process. So as we sit down and spend time for ourselves, let us understand how we can realign with ourselves, how we can realign over our efforts, how we can better our objectives, how we can strengthen our efforts, how we can strengthen the opportunities for us to strive better. How can we look for an alternative if the current process does not work? Well, an alternative is not always a solution, but it's just another thing or another way of going by with things that suit us at that particular time or moment. So folks, let us sit back and let us do a self-evaluation of ourselves. Let us understand how we can grow over ourselves, how we can help others to grow, how we can better our own environment, how we can establish better processes, how we can make this a better environment, and how we can add the value to everything with our efforts or with our involvements or with our commitments or with the process measures that we follow. So folks, I am looking at this in an open subject over an open forum because life has millions and millions of things that are done across various levels or platforms or moments. So I'm not being subjective to just one thing, but all I'm saying is we need to relate to that moment. We need to relate to that moment in time. We need to be subjective over a particular effort. We need to understand how we can better our own efforts, how we can enhance the efforts, and how we can work with ease towards our goals. Each one of us can achieve their own goals in their own ways. But yes, it will take some level of efforts and alignments over the pathways. So folks, I hope I'm making some sense to you. Folks, I know I'm repeating the same things that I've been told to you over the years, but that is life. Life is a reminder that there's always something new in the offering. Life is a reminder that there's always something new that you can look forward to. Life is a reminder that there are better opportunities ahead. Life is a reminder to live it at its utmost and believe that we can dwell in better environments. We can create happier moments for ourselves. Life is a clear example of saying that yes, everything has its end and there's always a new beginning. So as we look forward to our new beginnings, as we sort out our efforts, as we revive our opportunities, let us see how we can better ourselves, how we can better the environment, how we can create better well-being, not just for ourselves but people who associate with us. Because life is not only about I, me, myself, but life is about all of us. It's about us. Us is a universe that we relate to. So if we do good, definitely we can relate to better things in the offering. So folks, let us spend that time for ourselves. Let us do a self-evaluation, how we can better ourselves. Let us do a better evaluation over our efforts to take us to better times, to lead us towards better times ahead. Folks, I hope you enjoy listening to my podcast, which is very simple and things that relate to our own lives. I always keep my subjects very simple because I want each one to relate that yes, there are ways and means of making our life happier. There are ways and means of finding better things in life. There are ways and means of coming out of an environment, coming out of a zone that we could be stuck on. And of course, most importantly, there are ways and means of living an even more beautiful life. So folks, this is George Nathaniel for you. I hope you like listening to my podcast as much as I like making them. I do a lot of research on simple topics. I do get a lot of requests from my subscribers, and I encourage more of you all to send me those requests. I will be happy to simplify those terms and broadcast them on my podcast. I hope you like listening to them. Do share my podcast, and happy listening, folks. This is George Nathaniel signing off. Thank you once again and happy moments ahead. This is George Nathaniel saying thank you very much, and let's have a wonderful period ahead.